Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be telling you what I read in the month of June. I am here today with only mascara on because I didn't feel like dealing with anything. That's like a big sum up of this whole month. My month was so busy to the point where I could barely read. I went on vacation, I graduated high school, I spent a lot of time with my boyfriend before he left for the army, which sadly he's still at the army and I can't talk to him other than freaking letters. So we love that for me. So I only completed actually 2 books, and I put a poll on Twitter asking if I should still do a whole wrap-up video, and most people said that they would still like to see it even though I don't have that many books. It's kind of sad that I go from my biggest wrap-up ever to like the smallest one ever, and you're probably like, I saw that thumbnail, you were holding up 4 books. Well, I have 2 books that I am currently reading, like I'm into them. I just haven't finished them yet, and I was working on those in June, so I'm just gonna include that. June was just insane, and my life is kind of finally chilling down a little bit. I even had like a college orientation. Like literally everything that could have happened was happening in June, and my birthday, like everything. So now it's July and I'm finally like calming down a little bit and being all sad that my boyfriend's not here and the mail truck is here. Every time I see the mail truck, I get excited because I might have a letter. It's so freaking sad. I've only had 1 letter so far, and we're like in the 3rd week. We're at the start of the 3rd week that he's been gone, and it's supposed to be like 9.5 weeks. And then after that, I see him for like a day or 2. And then he goes off again to another place for several months. But I can actually communicate him with more than letters at that point. But okay, we'll stop talking about my life and get into the books that I read. The first book that I read was Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. This is the 6th and final book in the Vampire Academy series. I finally got to read this, and I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to this on audiobook, as I did with the most of the series when I was doing my reread, because they were on overdrive, but like 2 of them, which was just weird. I had a ton of fun rereading this series, and if you don't know what the Vampire Academy series is about, it's all about our main character, Rose Hathaway. She is a guardian of the Moroi, and the Moroi is a part of the vampire race. They are alive, they're mortal, but they also still drink blood, and they need that to survive, but they can also eat regular food, and they are set on only drinking blood from feeders, so humans that volunteer themselves for this. And there is a second half of vampires called the Strigoi. They're the evil vampires. They kill people to get their blood, and they don't ask them if they want to be a feeder. Like, nah, they just completely drink their blood. They're the bad vampires. They are immortal and evil and stronger. And the guardians guard the Moroi from the Strigoi because Strigois like to drink Moroi blood. It makes them even stronger. So it's about this whole society where Dompiers, which is what Rose is, it's a half vampire, half human. They protect the good vampires. And it ends up getting political by this book. This book has a whole, like I just said, a political arc, and this story is a lot of fun. My favorite book is the 3rd one in the series. I have realized, even though I used to think it was the 5th one, but I had a lot of fun with this, and I'm hoping to continue on with the Bloodlines series, which is the spin-off series from this one. If you haven't read Vampire Academy yet, definitely do it. Don't expect like this amazing, mind-blowing thing. It's just a lot of fun. It's old YA that is trashy but good at the same time, and I highly recommend if you want a good time. The next book that I read was one I was supposed to read in May, but that didn't happen, so I read it in June. It's Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This book is a part of the Mass-along that me and Brittany from Brittany and Books are hosting. We're supposed to read a Sarah J. Maas book every single month, and this book was set for May, I believe. Yet we are so behind, so we love that for us. June was supposed to be Empire of Storms. I still haven't read that book, but you know, we'll eventually read these books and get the live shows out. Just trust us. If you haven't read Queen of Shadows yet, we will hopefully have a live show for this soon. Brittany's still currently reading it, and once she's done, we'll have a live show. And I would say get started on Empire of Storms so you can be ready for that live show. This book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars, which I'm very happy about because this one has been a favorite in the series for a long time, and during my reread of this series I have realized that most of the books so far are not as good as I originally remember them to be, but this book in particular was fabulous, just as I remembered it. Obviously, I didn't really feel like reading this book. That was like my only big problem, is when you set yourself down to do a book club, you have to read that book every single month. And just the fact that you have to makes you not want to do it. So that's been my big problem with the Mass-along, but we're determined to freaking finish this whole thing off, and we'll probably never do a book club like this again because it's so freaking stressful. But even though I really didn't feel like reading this at the moment, I still really enjoyed myself. I love the characters in this book and all the point of views. I never got bored. Like, everything that happens in this book is so epic, and this used to be my favorite book of all time. No longer is it. I still don't really know. Like, The Hunger Games is up there. Harry Potter is up there. Like, who knows what my favorite book of all time is? Probably Catching Fire, let's be real, but I don't know. It's hard to say things like that, but definitely this is very nostalgic for me. It's no longer my favorite of all time, but it's definitely a really great book that I had a lot of fun with as I did the first time, and I'm so glad that I reread this one. It was definitely a long time coming because I keep procrastinating reading for the Mass-along, but I'll let you know, Kingdom of Ash, when we get to that one, we're gonna have 2 months to read that one, so hopefully we can catch ourselves up for that. And then after that, we're gonna be reading the ACOTAR series, finishing off the year in a good way. I never want to spoil anything, but the main character in this series, definitely one of my favorite characters of all time. I love her and I can't get enough of her. I know a lot of people hate her. I love that girl. She is the best. I'm almost spoiled like everything, but I can't. I stand her like in every single way, and I don't even care about anything else. That's not true, but she's basically what I'm here for with every single book, is I just love her so much. The next book that I have here is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. You know that I mentioned this last month. If you watched last month's wrap up, I am 250 pages into it. I don't know what I was in May, but I really didn't get to put much more time into this book this month, even though I'm really enjoying it. It's just with Mass-along and everything and me barely being able to read, I didn't really get to keep going with this, but I definitely want to. It's a high fantasy story with kingdoms and just so much freaking political crap and so many characters. It's so interesting, and I really don't know how to explain it, and most of you probably like have experienced the show or maybe have read a little bit of the books. It's crazy that I'm 250 pages in. I still haven't really gotten to like the big plot. It's very slow going, but yet I'm still really interested. Like, the characters have been really cool. My favorite one so far is Tyrion. Every time he comes onto the page, I am just in love. Like, he is such an interesting character. I'm also liking Jon Snow and Daenerys and Arya, just all of them. But the terrible people, because ew. My boyfriend actually like watched the entire show before he left for the army, and I'm trying to catch up slowly because I am determined to read the books first. So that's gonna take forever, and hopefully I can read more of this. Who knows how long this book is going to take me to finish, but hopefully I will get more into it. The next book that I started, I'm only 68 pages into, and it's Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. I have the audiobook for this, and I've just been listening to it a little bit. I started that in June, and I haven't listened to it in a big minute, but I need to get back into that because the whole point of rereading the Vampire Academy series was, yeah, to have fun, but also finally refresh myself so I can continue on with the Bloodlines series. And the Bloodlines series is just a spin-off of that one. It follows 2 main characters from that series, Adrian and Sydney, and I don't really know much about what goes on with this. I just know that they're both in it, and it also has Eddie, which freaking love me some Eddie. I love Eddie. I'm excited to see what happens in this series since I actually have no idea because I never caught up. But so this video kind of sucked. I didn't even explain like what Queen of Shadows was about, but at this point I feel like we get it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm hoping to be posting a lot more videos coming up. It's just I kind of needed my moment to mourn my boyfriend leaving just for a little bit and like calm down with my life because everything was happening. But I should have more time to hopefully read and hopefully work on the book that I've been writing for like forever, because that's a giant procrastination that just forever happens. I just really want to be more present on this channel as much as possible since I'm going into college. Who knows how that's gonna go, but I do plan to keep making videos. Like this video, comment down below, have a good day, please subscribe, make sure to follow all my social medias which are linked down below, and go click the bell button which is right by the subscribe button which you should have already clicked, and goodbye.